The next morning, the sun burned red over the horizon, casting long shadows through the dense forest. Rian watched Kira from a hidden position, noting the way her scales glimmered faintly. In the early light, she was still chained, but there was a new spark in her eyes, a quiet determination that mirrored his own. Rian knew the time had come. He could no longer wait. The tribe's leaders were planning another ritual today, one meant to humiliate Kira further and break her spirit. If he wanted to help her, he had to act. He stepped into the clearing carefully, trying to appear small and unthreatening. The tribe's guards noticed immediately and raised their weapons, claws clicking in warning. The leader, the dark green-scaled alien, turned slowly, his eyes narrowing. "Human," the leader said, voice sharp and cold. "What are you doing here? You have no right to interfere in the affairs of our tribe." Rian raised his hands slowly. "I am not here to fight. I am here to speak. Let her go." The leader laughed, a low, rumbling sound. "Speak? Do you think words will change the laws of our people? She is a traitor. And you are a weak human who cannot hope to challenge us." Rian's eyes never left Kira. "Maybe I am weak, but I am not afraid, and I will not leave her chained while she suffers for doing what is right." The leader stepped closer, claws flexing. "Then you must prove your courage. Show us your strength. Human, if you wish to speak of justice." Rian's heart pounded, but he remained calm. He had trained for dangerous situations on Earth, and he had survived worse than this. But this was not just about him, it was about Kira. He needed a plan that could show courage without needless bloodshed. The leader gestured, and the guards advanced. Rian ducked behind a large rock. Pulling a small device from his pack, it emitted a bright, blinding flash that startled the tribe. The human's strange technology always fascinated alien species. Even the warriors hesitated. "Step back," Rian shouted, holding the device high. "I do not want to fight you. I want to protect her." For a moment, there was silence. Kira's eyes widened, hope mixing with surprise. She had never seen a human act so boldly, without fear, against so many. Then, one of the warriors lunged forward. Rian sidestepped, grabbing a heavy branch from the ground and swinging it with all his strength. The warrior stumbled but recovered quickly. More warriors moved to surround him, but Rian used quick thinking, dodging and keeping the group off balance. Kira watched, amazed. This human was small compared to her captors, but he moved with precision, courage, and intelligence. She felt a flicker of hope. If he could stand against them, maybe she could too. Rian noticed the chains holding Kira were old and partially rusted in places. If he could distract the guards long enough, he might have a chance to cut her free. He ran toward the nearest tree, launching a small explosive he had prepared in secret. The explosion sent a cloud of smoke into the air, confusing the warriors and giving him a moment to reach Kira. "Hold still," Rian whispered urgently. He inspected the chains and used a compact cutting tool, a device small but powerful enough to weaken the links. Kira's eyes followed his every move, trust growing in her heart. Suddenly, one of the warriors recovered from the smoke and moved to strike him. Rian ducked, barely avoiding the swipe of a claw, and rolled to the side. He kept moving, keeping the warrior off balance, buying precious seconds. Finally, with a loud snap, the chains fell open. Kira's body dropped to the ground, free at last. She scrambled to her feet, wings trembling, and looked at Rian with gratitude. You saved me," she whispered, almost in disbelief. "I couldn't leave you there," Rian said simply. "Come on, we have to move before they recover." Kira nodded, summoning the strength she had kept hidden. Her wings stretched slightly, enough to help her move quickly. Together, they ran, weaving through the trees and underbrush, the sounds of shouting warriors behind them. Even as they fled, Kira felt a new strength within her. She had always known she was different, and now she realized that courage could come from unlikely places. This human, small, fragile by her species standards, had faced her people without fear, and in doing so, he had given her a chance to survive. Rian glanced at her, smiling faintly despite the danger. "You're stronger than you think, and you can fight too." Kira's eyes gleamed. Then I will fight. With you. They pressed on, deeper into the forest, where sunlight barely touched the ground. Strange creatures scuttled and called in the shadows, but neither Rian nor Kira hesitated. They moved as one, silently understanding that trust and courage could be more powerful than any weapon eventually. They reached a small clearing near a stream. Kira paused to catch her breath. "We cannot keep running forever," she said. "They will not stop until they capture me again." Rian nodded. "Then we need a plan. We need to show them that courage and justice matter more than fear. We can't fight everyone, but we can outthink them." Kira studied him for a moment, impressed by his calm determination. "You are different from any human I imagined. You do not run. You do not hide. You care." "I do," Rian replied. "I care about what is right. And I care about you." Kira's golden eyes softened, and for the first time, she allowed herself to believe that freedom was possible. They were no longer just prisoner and rescuer, they were allies, bound by courage and a shared goal. Night fell again, and they made camp in the safety of the forest. Kira's chains were gone, but the memory of their weight lingered in her mind. She flexed her wings carefully, testing her strength. Rian watched her, thinking of the battles ahead. They were far from safe, but this first stand, this act of courage had changed everything. As the twin moons rose over the forest, Rian whispered, "Tomorrow, we make our next move, together." Kira nodded, hope and determination shining in her eyes. "Together," she echoed dot, and for the first time in a long time, both of them felt that justice, courage, and trust could stand against even the fiercest odds. The forest of Dravora was alive with strange sounds, even at night. Leaves rustled under unseen creatures, and distant howls echoed through the trees. Rian and Kira moved cautiously, their footsteps light, trying not to draw attention. The forest offered cover, but it was full of dangers they did not yet understand. Kira's wings twitched nervously. "They will come after me soon," she said quietly. "My people, they will not give up so easily." Rian nodded. "I know, but we will stay ahead of them, and we'll use the forest to our advantage. Stay close and follow my lead." They moved in silence, winding through narrow paths between thick tree trunks. Rian had memorized the patrol patterns of the tribe. He knew when they would expect intruders and when the forest itself could hide them. Kira, though still weak from her captivity, moved with surprising speed, her scales catching glimmers of moonlight as she followed him. Suddenly, a snapping sound echoed nearby. Rian froze and gestured for Kira to do the same. From the shadows, a pack of forest creatures emerged, long, serpentine bodies with glowing eyes. They hissed and circled, sensing unfamiliar intruders. Kira stepped forward instinctively, small, flames flickering from her mouth. Rian held up his hands. "Wait, don't attack yet." Kira hesitated, then tilted her head. Rian had learned that the creatures responded to calm energy. Slowly, he pulled a small glowing orb from his pack. It emitted a soft, steady light. The creatures paused, curious. Rian stepped forward, letting the orb's light shine on the ground. One by one, the serpentine creatures slithered away, intrigued but no longer threatening. Kira's eyes widened. You can calm them." "I have learned how," Rian said with a faint smile. "Courage is useful, but sometimes brains are stronger than fire or claws." They continued their journey, deeper into the dense forest. Kira's strength was returning, and Rian marveled at her resilience. Despite everything, she had not broken. Her spirit was strong, and he knew it would only grow stronger with trust and freedom. Hours passed, and the sounds of the tribe faded behind them. Rian led Kira to a small clearing near a stream. Hidden from the main paths, the moonlight reflected on the water, and the gentle sound of running water offered a moment of peace. "We should rest," Rian said. "They will search harder at first light. We need energy." Kira nodded, settling beside the stream. Her wings rested along her back, and she flexed them slowly, feeling the chains no longer binding her. "I never thought I would feel safe again," she whispered. "You are safe with me," Rian replied firmly. "I promise. We will find a way to stop them from ever capturing you again. Kira studied him. On her golden eyes, you risked yourself for me, human. Why? Rian looked away, thinking, because someone has to stand for what is right, because courage matters, and because no one deserves to be punished for protecting life. Kira's expression softened for the first time. She believed that perhaps not all outsiders would betray her. Perhaps there was hope beyond chains and fear. Suddenly, a soft glow appeared near the edge of the clearing. Both of them froze. From the shadows, a small, ethereal creature emerged, its body shimmering in pale light, wings like transparent glass. Kira gasped. That is a forest spirit. They are drawn to those who are pure of heart. The creature circled them, its eyes fixed on Kira. Then it hovered near Rian, giving a gentle hum, as if testing him. Rian stayed calm, letting the light wash over him. The spirit did not attack, it simply observed. Sensing their intentions, Kira smiled faintly. It trusts you. Rian nodded. Trust is earned, even with spirits, and sometimes courage earns more than strength ever could. The spirit flew ahead, leading them to a hidden path that Rian had not noticed before. The trees parted slightly, and the path descended into a small valley, protected from the tribe's usual patrols. This natural corridor could offer a temporary refuge. They moved quickly but cautiously. Kira's strength was growing, and Rian encouraged her to test her wings. She spread them, lifting slightly off the ground in short bursts. I feel alive again, she whispered, smiling for the first time in weeks. Rian grinned. Then let's keep you alive. There's a long road ahead, but we will face it together. As they reached the end of the valley, a distant sound caught their attention. A hunting party, led by one of the tribe's elite warriors, moving fast through the forest. Rian's jaw tightened. They found our trail. We need to move faster. Kira's eyes narrowed. I can help. She concentrated, summoning her dragon energy. Small sparks of fire flickered around her claws, enough to create barriers of smoke and light. The warriors slowed, confused by the sudden illusion. Rian took advantage of the distraction, guiding Kira along a winding path that would throw off their pursuers. The chase lasted until the early hours of morning, but Rian and Kira finally lost the hunters. Collapsing in a hidden grove, they allowed themselves a brief moment of rest. Kira looked at him, gratitude and awe in her eyes. You're incredible. I never thought a human could be so brave. Rian shook his head. I'm not incredible. I don't run from what is right. You taught me that courage is worth more than fear. Kira smiled, a real, unguarded smile. For the first time, she felt the taste of freedom, and Rian, watching her, knew that this was only the beginning. Together, they would face the dangers of Dravora, the wrath of her tribe, and the mysteries of the forest. But for now, they had won a small victory, freedom for the night, and trust between two very different beings. As the first rays of light touched the forest canopy, Rian whispered, Tomorrow, we move again. We keep going until you are safe. Kira nodded, wrapping her wings gently around herself. I am ready. And with you, I believe we can survive anything. The forest seemed to hold its breath, as if acknowledging the courage of these two unlikely allies. They had escaped once, and their journey was far from over, but for the first time, hope shone brighter than fear. The forest of Dravora was dark and alive with strange sounds. The leaves rustled under unseen creatures, and shadows moved in the corners of Rian's eyes. He held Kira's hand tightly as they moved through the thick underbrush, careful not to make a sound. Every step could alert the tribe's hunters. Kira's wings were small but strong, twitching nervously as they navigated fallen branches. They will come after me soon, she whispered, her voice barely audible. My people, they will not let me go so easily. I know, Rian said, but we have the forest on our side. We just need to stay quiet and stay smart. They moved along a narrow path between massive tree trunks. The moonlight barely reached the ground, but it was enough to guide them. Every now and then, Rian stopped and listened. He could hear distant shouts and the soft thud of footsteps. Hunters from Kira's tribe searching for her. Suddenly, A rustling sound came from above. Both of them froze. From the branches, a large shadow leapt down. It was a forest predator, a wolf-like creature with glowing eyes. Kira instinctively stepped back, but Rian held out a hand. "Wait," he whispered. He reached into his pack and pulled out a small, glowing orb. The light was soft and steady. The creature paused, sniffing the air. Slowly, it backed away, unsure of the glowing human. Kira stared in amazement. You calm it," she said. "I've learned a few tricks," Rian replied, smiling faintly. "Sometimes brains work better than strength." The path led them deeper into the forest, where the air smelled of wet earth and wildflowers. Kira moved, carefully, testing her wings. "I feel stronger here," she said. "Freer." Rian nodded. "Good. You need your strength. We'll face more danger ahead, but together we can survive." As they walked, a soft glow appeared ahead. Kira gasped. "A forest spirit," she whispered. The small creature hovered in the air, its body shimmering like liquid light. Its eyes were gentle, but curious. The spirit circled Kira once, then hovered in front of Rian. It seemed to sense his intentions. Rian stayed calm, holding out his hand. The spirit hovered close but did not attack. Instead, it gave a gentle hum, then floated ahead, as if guiding them. Kira followed the spirit, her steps careful. "It's leading us," she said. "Somewhere safe, maybe." Rian and Kira followed the glowing creature until they reached a hidden valley, surrounded by cliffs and thick trees. The valley was small but safe, a natural refuge from the tribes. Patrols. Kira bent down, pressing her hands into the soft moss, and smiled faintly. "We are safe for now." Rian nodded. "We need to rest and plan our next move. They will come after us again." Kira looked at him, admiration in her eyes. "You risked yourself for me." "Why?" Rian shrugged. "Because courage matters. Someone has to stand for what is right. And because no one deserves to be punished for protecting life." Kira's golden eyes softened. She had never trusted anyone outside her tribe, but something about Rian's calm presence gave her hope. She stretched her wings slightly, feeling their power return. Hours passed, and the valley remained quiet. Rian taught Kira a few human tricks to stay hidden. Move quietly, watch the shadows. Listen for danger. Kira learned quickly, her eyes bright with determination. Suddenly, the silence was broken by a shout. Rian froze. "Hunters," he whispered. "They found our trail." Kira's wings spread, small sparks flickering from her claws. "I can help," she said. She focused, and a faint light formed around her, creating illusions of movement in the forest. The hunters hesitated, confused by the flickering images. Rian took advantage of the moment. "This way," he called, leading Kira along a twisting path. They ran swiftly, ducking under low branches and jumping over roots. The illusions worked, slowing the hunters, and soon the sounds of pursuit faded. They finally stopped in a small clearing. Exhausted but safe for the moment, Kira bent down, breathing heavily. You are incredible, human," she said. Rian smiled, though he was equally tired. "I'm not incredible. I just don't run from what is right. And you fought too. You have courage." Kira looked at him, her expression serious. "I've learned courage from you. I've learned that even someone small can make a difference." The first light of dawn began to filter through the trees. Rian and Kira sat together, watching the forest wake up. For a moment, the danger of the tribe seemed far away. The forest was alive and full of possibilities. Rian broke the silence. "We can't stop here for long. They will search again, and next time, they will be stronger. We need a plan." Kira nodded. "Then we prepare. Together, we will face whatever comes." Rian looked at her, proud and determined. "We will survive, Kira. Not just survive, we will win. We will show them that courage and justice matter more than fear and strength alone." Kira smiled, wings folding neatly along her back. "I believe you, human. I believe in us." The forest seemed to hold its breath, as if acknowledging their courage. Rian and Kira had escaped once, but their journey was far from over. Ahead lay the dangers of the forest, the wrath of her tribe, and the challenges of survival. Yet for the first time, hope shone brighter than fear. As they rested in the hidden clearing, Rian whispered, "Tomorrow, we move again. We fight together." Kira nodded, determination clear in her golden eyes. Together, and in the heart of Dravora's forest, two unlikely allies prepared for the challenges ahead, bound by trust, courage, and the promise of freedom. The hidden valley was quiet now, bathed in the soft light of Dravora's twin suns. Rian and Kira had survived the night, but their journey was far from over. Kira stretched her wings carefully, testing their strength. They were stronger than before, and she could feel her energy returning with each movement. Rian watched her closely. "You're getting stronger every hour," he said, "but we need more than strength. We need a plan if we want to keep you safe from your tribe." Kira nodded. "I know. My people are relentless. They will send more hunters, bigger and stronger than the last group. I need to be ready, and I need you too." Rian smiled faintly. "We'll face them together. But first, you need to rest and recover fully. Your strength comes from both your body and your mind." Kira sat beside him near the stream that ran through the valley. She let the sunlight warm her scales as she listened to Rian speak. He told her stories of humans, how they faced impossible odds, how courage and intelligence often mattered more than raw power. Kira was fascinated. Humans were fragile in appearance, yet they had survived countless challenges across their home world. "I never imagined a human could be so brave," Kira said. "Even when I was chained, you didn't hesitate to stand for what is right. I've never seen that among my own people." Rian looked at her steadily. "Courage isn't about size or strength. It's about what you choose to do when others are afraid. And right now, I choose to help you." Kira's golden eyes softened, and she realized that she trusted him completely. This human, small and unassuming compared to her people, had risked everything for her. It was a bond she had never felt with anyone else, not even her closest allies. Over the next few days, Rian taught Kira how to use her dragon abilities more effectively. She practiced small bursts of fire, short glides with her wings, and silent movement through the forest. Each exercise strengthened her muscles and boosted her confidence. Rian, in turn, learned from Kira about the forest's hidden paths, secret shelters, and how to move without leaving a trace. One morning, as the twin suns rose, Kira stretched fully, feeling her claws dig into the soft moss. "I'm ready," she said. "I can fight, and I can escape if they come." Rian nodded. "Good, but fighting isn't always about strength. Sometimes, it's about thinking ahead. Your tribe respects strength, but they fear clever strategy even more." Kira tilted her head. "Then we fight smart, together." "Exactly," Rian said. "Brains and courage can overcome anything." As they trained, Kira shared more of her story. She told Rian about her childhood in the tribe, how curiosity and compassion were considered weaknesses, and how she had been punished for trying to protect the sacred forest. Her voice carried sadness, but also determination. "I tried to show them another way," Kira said, "but they called me a traitor. I thought I would never be free again." Rian placed a hand on her shoulder. "You are free now, and you will stay free, as long as we work together." The bond between them grew stronger each day. Kira began to see Rian not just as a rescuer, but as a friend and ally. And Rian realized that helping Kira was more than a mission. It was a test of humanity's courage, compassion, and ability to inspire hope even in the darkest places. One evening, as the sun dipped low, casting long shadows across the valley, they heard the faint sound of movement. Rian's eyes narrowed. "Hunters," he whispered. "They found the valley." Kira's wings twitched, and small sparks of fire flickered from her claws. "Then we fight," she said, determination burning in her eyes. "I will not be taken again." Rian nodded. "We don't need to fight blindly. We can use the forest to our advantage. Watch and learn." He led Kira to a narrow path between two large cliffs. The path was treacherous, but it offered a perfect spot for ambush. Rian and Kira positioned themselves carefully, hidden from view, and waited. Soon, The hunters appeared, moving in a coordinated line. They did not expect resistance in this hidden valley. Rian signaled to Kira, and she released a burst of fire. That lit up the shadows. The hunters froze, startled, and for a moment, the advantage was theirs. Rian moved swiftly, using his agility to confuse the hunters and create openings. Kira followed, combining her strength and fire with his clever movements. Together, they were unstoppable. The hunters were forced to retreat, unable to anticipate the teamwork between human and dragon. After the battle, Kira landed beside Rian, breathing heavily but smiling. We did it," she said. Awe in her voice, Rian smiled, patting her shoulder. Yes, courage and strategy win battles, not just strength. Kira looked around at the forest, feeling a deep sense of connection. I never thought I could be this strong, or this free. Thank you, Rian. You don't need to thank me. Rian said, you have your own strength. You just needed a little guidance to see it. The bond between them was now unbreakable. They had faced danger together, relied on each other, and discovered a mutual respect that went beyond words. Kira had regained her freedom, but more importantly, she had regained her confidence. As the twin moons rose again, casting silver light across the valley, Rian and Kira sat together. Planning their next move, the tribe would not give up easily, and the challenges ahead would be greater. But for the first time, both of them felt truly prepared. We are ready, Kira said softly. Whatever comes next, we face it together. Rian nodded, eyes steady. Together, he agreed. And in the quiet of Trevor's forest, two unlikely allies strengthened their bond, knowing that courage, trust, and teamwork could overcome even the fiercest of enemies. Their journey was far from over, but hope and determination now shone brighter than fear. The forest was alive with tension. Trevor's twin sons cast long shadows as Rian and Kira moved through the trees, preparing for the confrontation they knew was inevitable. Kira had regained her full strength, and Rian had trained her to combine her dragon abilities with clever tactics. They were ready, but the tribe would not be easy to face. Kira's golden eyes scanned the horizon. They are coming, she whispered. Her wings flexed instinctively, small sparks flickering along her claws. This is our chance. We cannot run forever. Rian nodded. Then we make our stand here. But we do it smart. They respect strength, but they fear strategy even more. Follow my lead. They moved to a narrow valley flanked by cliffs, a place they could defend easily. Trees provided cover, and the ground gave them the advantage to maneuver. Rian positioned Kira near the center, where her fire bursts and flight could cover most angles. Soon, the first hunters appeared, cautious but determined. The leader, the towering dark green scaled warrior who had captured Kira, advanced at the front. You dare resist us, he shouted. We are your people. You belong to us. Kira's eyes flared. I belong to no one who punishes me for doing right. Her wings spread wide, and a burst of fire shot into the air, lighting up the valley. The warriors stopped, momentarily stunned by her courage. Rian moved quickly, leading the attackers into traps he had prepared, fallen logs, natural pitfalls, and the terrain itself became weapons. Each step the hunters took brought them closer to confusion, frustration, and retreat. The leader roared and advanced toward Kira. She did not flinch. With a swift movement, she took flight, her wings carrying her just above the ground. Fire sparks trailed behind her, forcing the leader to hesitate. Rian seized the moment, flanking the leader from the side and using clever misdirection to make the tribe falter. One by one, the hunters struggled against the combined force of human strategy and dragon strength. Kira's fire and agility, guided by Rian's tactical commands, created a perfect balance. Even the strongest warriors could not anticipate their moves. The battle raged for hours. Kira's determination never wavered, and Rian's calm guidance kept them focused. Together, they were more than allies. They were a force of courage, intellect, and skill. Finally, the leader, exhausted and frustrated, realized that his warriors could not succeed without him. He advanced toward Kira again, claws ready to strike. Kira met his gaze fearlessly. This ends now, she said, with a powerful beat of her wings. She lifted into the air, launching a controlled burst of fire that forced him to step back. Rian took the chance to act. He moved swiftly, positioning the leader between natural pitfalls and obstacles. The leader stumbled, realizing too late that strength alone would not win this fight. Kira landed beside him, her eyes locked on the leader. You underestimated courage and strategy, Rian said calmly, and you underestimated her. You cannot control someone who does what is right. The leader growled but finally signaled his warriors to retreat, one by one. They withdrew from the valley, defeated not by hatred or strength alone, but by intelligence, bravery, and teamwork. Kira landed beside Rian, her chest heaving but a victorious smile spreading across her face. We did it, she whispered. We truly did it. Rian nodded, smiling faintly. Yes, courage and strategy always win when you believe in what is right. For the first time in her life, Kira felt completely free. She had faced her own people, used her abilities wisely, and trusted another being to stand with her. Her spirit was stronger than ever. They sat together in the quiet valley, the sounds of the forest returning after the battle. Kira stretched her wings fully, feeling the freedom of movement and strength she had regained. I can finally live, she said softly. I can finally be myself. Rian looked at her with pride. And you will. You are stronger than anyone could have imagined. You just needed to see your own courage. Kira smiled. And I had you to show me. She paused, her golden eyes reflecting gratitude. You trusted me, even when everyone else punished me. I will never forget that. Rian shrugged, smiling. I didn't do it for thanks. I did it because it was right. But I'm glad we made a difference together. The twin moons rose over Travora, casting silver light across the valley. Kira stretched her wings once more, feeling the wind beneath them. She had survived the chains, the punishments, and the fear. She was free, strong, and ready to face the future. Rian and Kira had forged a bond that went beyond words, one of trust, courage, and shared victories. They had faced impossible odds, relied on each other, and proven that even in the darkest moments, courage and teamwork could triumph over fear and oppression. As the stars sparkled above, Rian whispered, the journey isn't over, but now we know we can face anything together. Kira nodded. Together, she echoed, wings folding gracefully along her back, and in the heart of Travora's forest, two unlikely allies stood victorious not just against the tribe, but against doubt, fear, and despair. They had discovered the true power of courage, trust, and determination. No longer a prisoner, no longer afraid, Kira spread her wings fully and lifted into the sky, Rian beside her, ready for whatever the future might bring. The forest seemed to cheer, carrying their victory through the trees. They had won, and this was only the beginning of a story of courage, freedom, and the strength found when two very different beings stood together. The victory in the valley had given Kira and Rian a temporary sense of safety, but the forest of Travora was vast and unpredictable, even though her tribe had retreated. Rian knew that more dangers awaited, both from the tribe and from the wilds themselves. We can't stay here forever, Rian said, looking over the valley. They'll regroup, and new hunters will come. We need a place where you can truly be safe. Kira stretched her wings, letting the wind lift her slightly. I trust you. Lead the way. Her golden eyes shone with determination. For the first time, she felt that freedom wasn't just a dream, it was real. They moved carefully through the forest, following paths Kira had never noticed before. Rian's human ingenuity complemented Kira's natural instincts. Together, they avoided dangerous creatures and hidden traps, often relying on clever tactics rather than raw strength to keep safe. After a few hours, they reached a small river that glowed faintly in the evening light. Rian knelt beside it, examining the water. Fresh water, plenty of fish, and we can hide easily along these banks, he said. This could be our new base for a while. Kira dipped her claws into the water, feeling the cool flow. It's perfect. No one would expect anyone to hide here. She looked at Rian with appreciation. You think ahead like no one else I've ever met. I've had to, Ryun said with a faint smile. Humans survive by planning, by being clever. And now, we combine that with your strength and abilities. Together, we're unstoppable. Night fell, and the forest came alive with sounds of nocturnal creatures. Kira perched on a branch above Ryun, her wings folding neatly behind her. I never imagined I could feel so safe, she said softly. Even after everything that happened, you earned this safety, Ryun replied. Not just through courage, but through trust and intelligence. You've grown stronger in every way. Kira looked at him, her golden eyes reflecting the moonlight. And I couldn't have done it without you? You believed in me when no one else did. They set up a small camp near the river, using the trees and rocks for natural protection. Kira practiced flying short distances, honing her agility and fire bursts, while Ryun set simple traps around the perimeter to detect intruders each night. They grew more confident in their ability to survive together. One evening, while sitting by the river, Kira spoke again. Ryun, what if they come back with more than hunters? What if they bring warriors or worse? Ryun thought carefully. Then we use what we have learned. Strength is important, but so is intelligence. We will not face them blindly. We will predict their moves, prepare traps, and use the forest to our advantage. And most importantly, we will face them together. Kira nodded. Together. She stretched her wings fully, feeling the power and freedom flowing through her body. I never knew I could feel like this, alive, strong, free. Ryun watched her, pride swelling in his chest. You are remarkable, Kira. You faced chains, punishment, and fear. And now you're not just surviving, you're thriving. Days passed, and they explored the surrounding areas. Learning about the forest's secrets, Kira discovered hidden caves, places where the sunlight touched the ground in patterns that gave warmth and safety. Ryun noted every path, every potential advantage they could use. The forest became their ally, not just a place to hide. One day, Kira perched on a high cliff, looking out over the forest. This is incredible, she said. I feel like I can see everything from up here. I can defend this place, protect it, and protect you. Ryun smiled. And that's why we work together. Your power, my planning. No one can stop us when we combine them. Suddenly, a small figure appeared on the trail below, a lone scout from the tribe. Kira's eyes narrowed. They found us. Ryun stepped forward calmly. We expected this. But we have the advantage. Follow my instructions. He whispered a plan to Kira, and together, they set up a clever trap using the terrain. When the scout approached, he triggered a series of illusions and noise-making devices. Kira swooped down, a small burst of fire flashing around, startling the scout. The creature stumbled and retreated, confused and defeated. Kira landed beside Ryun, her eyes gleaming. That was amazing. We didn't even have to fight for real. Exactly, Ryun said. Sometimes, victory comes from strategy, not direct confrontation. And every time we succeed like this, we make the forest safer and your tribe's pursuit weaker. Night fell again, and they sat by the river, watching the stars sparkle above. Kira stretched her wings, feeling stronger than ever. I feel unstoppable. Like I can do anything now. You can, Ryun said simply, and you will. But remember, courage isn't just about power. It's about choice. You chose to fight for freedom, to trust, and to survive. That makes you stronger than anyone who would try to chain you again. Kira leaned back, letting the gentle river sounds calm her. For the first time, she believed that not only could she survive, she could thrive. And with Ryun beside her, guiding, supporting, and trusting her, she knew that no challenge was too great. The forest seemed to acknowledge their courage. The trees swayed gently, the river sparkled with life. And even the distant creatures of Dravora seemed to sense that something remarkable had changed. Ryun looked at Kira, pride and admiration shining in his eyes. Tomorrow, we explore further. We learn more. We prepare for anything that comes. But tonight, we rest. You deserve it. Kira nodded, folding her wings. Thank you, Ryun, for everything. For saving me, for teaching me, for believing in me. You've earned it, Ryun said. And we'll keep earning our freedom together. As the twin moons rose over the forest, Ryun and Kira rested by the river, knowing that they had not just survived, but grown stronger. They were ready for whatever challenges awaited, bound by courage, trust, and an unbreakable bond. In the heart of Dravora, two unlikely allies had proven that hope, intelligence, and bravery could overcome fear, oppression, and even the greatest odds, and as they looked to the future, they knew that together they could face anything. The forest of Dravora was alive with the soft light of dawn. Kira perched on a high cliff, wings stretched wide, feeling the wind lift her effortlessly. For the first time in her life, she felt truly free. No chains, no hunters, no fear, only the open sky and the strength she had regained. Ryun climbed beside her, looking out over the forest valley that had become their home. "It's beautiful, isn't it?" he said. "And it's ours to protect, for now." Kira turned to him, golden eyes shining. "Yes, and I know we can face anything, together." Their moment of peace was brief. From the tree line below, distant shadows moved hunters from Kira's tribe. They had returned, more numerous and determined than before. But Kira and Ryun were ready. They had learned, trained, and prepared for this exact moment. Ryun whispered, "Remember everything we practiced. We do this smart, not just with strength. We protect the valley, and we show them courage matters more than fear." Kira nodded, flexing her wings. "I'm ready." The hunters entered the valley, moving cautiously. Their leader's voice echoed through the trees. "You cannot hide forever, Kira. Return now, or face the consequences." Kira's eyes blazed with determination. "I will not return to a life of chains and fear. I am free." She leapt into the air, fire flickering from her claws, and the valley lit up with her power. Ryun moved quickly, guiding her from the ground. "Lead them through the traps we set. Use your flight to control the battlefield." Kira swooped down, her wings cutting through the air as the hunters tried to anticipate her moves. Ryun used clever misdirection, knocking down obstacles and creating diversions. Together, human intelligence and dragon strength worked flawlessly. The hunters struggled to keep up, confused by the combination of strategy and raw power. Kira's fire burst illuminated the ground, forcing them to retreat step by step. They had underestimated her courage and Ryun's guidance. Finally, the leader faced them directly. "Claws ready. You dare defy your own people," he growled. Kira's wings spread wide, fire sparking around her. "I defy those who punish me for doing right. I fight for freedom, not for obedience." Ryun moved alongside her. Strength alone does not win battles. Courage, intelligence, and teamwork do, and you have none of that on your side. With a powerful beat of her wings, Kira lifted high, drawing the leader toward a narrow pass. Ryun had prepared the terrain carefully. The leader stumbled into a trap they had set earlier. Logs and rocks shifted beneath him, forcing him to retreat. One by one, the hunters gave up. The combination of Kira's courage, Ryun's planning, and the natural advantages of the valley proved too strong. They had learned that fear could not control someone who believed in freedom and justice. Kira landed beside Ryun, breathing heavily but smiling. "We did it. We truly did it." Ryun nodded. "Yes. Courage and strategy win when you believe in what is right. You proved that today." The tribe's warriors retreated into the forest, leaving the valley silent once more. Kira's heart swelled with pride. She had faced her people, not with anger or hatred, but with courage and intelligence. She had defended her freedom and inspired others to see that strength alone was not enough to rule. Ryun placed a hand on her shoulder. "You are free now, and not just free in body, you are free in spirit. You have earned this." Kira stretched her wings fully, feeling the wind lift her higher than ever before. "I never imagined I could feel this alive," she said softly. "Thank you, Ryun, for believing in me, for standing with me, for trusting me. You didn't need saving." Ryun replied, "You needed someone to see your courage and stand beside it. That's all I did." Kira looked out over the valley, golden eyes glowing in the sunlight. She thought of the forest spirits, the creatures they had encountered, and the lessons she had learned. "I will protect this place," she said. I will defend those who cannot defend themselves. And I will remember that courage and friendship are stronger than fear." Rian smiled. "And we will do it together. This is only the beginning. The forest is vast, and there will always be challenges. But nothing is impossible when we face them together." Kira nodded, folding her wings gracefully. Together. The twin moons of Trevor rose again, casting silver light across the valley. The river sparkled. The trees swayed, and even the distant creatures seemed to sense the change. Kira had transformed from a captive in chains to a free, powerful, and confident guardian of the forest. Rian watched her, pride and admiration in his eyes. "You've come so far," he said softly, "from fear and captivity to courage and freedom. And you did it with your own strength, your own heart." Kira turned to him, eyes shining. "And I had you beside me. That made all the difference." The forest seemed to celebrate their victory. Birds sang, leaves rustled in the wind, and the river gurgled like a melody of triumph. Kira felt it in her bones: freedom, hope, and the power to protect what she loved. "Rian," she said finally, "we have done what many thought impossible. But I know there are more adventures ahead, more challenges, more chances to show courage." Rian nodded. "And we will face them together. We've proven that courage, intelligence, and trust can overcome even the greatest odds." Kira spread her wings once more, soaring above the valley. Rian ran below, watching her glide, feeling the wind on his face. Together, they had changed the story of Kira's life. Chains were broken, fear was gone, and freedom had been earned. The sun rose higher, lighting the forest in golden hues. Kira returned to the ground beside Rian, smiling. "This is our home now, safe, strong, and full of life." "Yes," Rian agreed, "and with courage and trust, nothing can take it from us." The two stood together, looking out over the forest. They had fought to protect. They had faced chains, hunters, and fear itself. And they had won not through hatred, not through force alone, but through courage, intelligence, and a bond that could never be broken. In the heart of Dravora, a dragon and a human had shown that even the smallest beings, when guided by courage and trust, could change the world. And as the twin moons reflected on the river and the forest glowed in the sunlight, Kira and Rian prepared for the future together, unstoppable and free.